What's up, people? So, ignore how messed up my beard is today. I gotta trim that shit. Okay, I want to talk about the lie, the absolute lie and false narrative that's being pushed about in regards to or in reference to the whole Rogan thing. This isn't directly about Rogan, but this is more about the comments that I've read and been seeing since. Damn, that's bad. Alright. I keep saying, and I had discussions about this online, but once again, I'm seeing this whole like, oh, a white person can never say the N word. You can't do it. It's not acceptable. I'd never tolerate it around me. Blah, 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 blah. That's an absolute lie. It's made up. It's fake. It's 99.9% of the outrage on social media is bullshit. It's fake. It's feigned. And this is a perfect example of it. All right, just a little bit of background. Obviously, you can see I'm a white guy. But I live in a black neighborhood now, predominantly black. And all my adult life, I've either lived in a predominantly black area or worked in a predominantly black business. I tended bar for over 25 years, right? And I would tend bar in, example is one of the bars during the daytime, it was mostly white bar. And as soon as it got into the late afternoon into night, it would turn into a black bar. Happened every day. And that's one of them. My ex worked at a black nightclub, R&B nightclub. And I would hang out there, and occasionally, under certain circumstances, I would work there. As long back as I can remember, like I'll say around 20, because I grew up in a white area. So start around 20 or so. I have seen over and over and over again the white guy getting a pass. The group of black guys with the one white friend or the one Asian friend or the one Hispanic friend or whatever, and they would drop the N-word just like anybody else. Anybody else in the group. There'd be, a group of 6, 7 black guys would come in from either a job or just friends coming in, and they'd have maybe a Hispanic guy, a white guy, and an Asian guy with them that work with them or that are in their group of friends. All of them. Every one of them would drop the N-word the same way. Yo, what up, my N? Yo, I was talking to this N and this mother, whatever. Every way, exactly the same, in the same context, in the same way, all the time. Nobody in the group was ever outraged. Nobody else that wasn't in the group ever heard it going on and would be like, yo, can't say that. You're white or you're Asian. Has nobody ever like walked through a Chinatown anywhere? You'll see a group of kids hanging out in the street corner talking to each other, and every other word or every other sentence is "and this" or "and that." They're not insulting anybody. They're using the same language that they hear all the time. No, never. There's not. You never see a group of black guys or black women walk by and yell at them or anything else for saying it. They don't care. At jobs, I've gotten arguments in people I worked with because I wouldn't say it. Because my friends would be like, yo, Steve, you're my N, you got it, blah, blah, blah. And they would be like trying to get me to call them that and talk to them the same way. And it would be like, oh, appreciate it, thank you, everything else, but I don't want to use it. I'll explain that little part at the end. But there's outrage now, this fake, feigned fraud anger, and this attitude like, it's never okay for a white person to say. I would never allow it to be said around me. I won't tolerate that, blah, blah, blah. It's all an absolute lie. It's so fraudulent, it's not funny. I don't think anybody should say it. My views on this are very strong, pretty specific. And I don't think anybody should say it. But I don't get mad at people that don't look at things the same way, so they say it. I don't assume that if I hear it said in a context with in a conversation between people where everybody in that group is okay with it and everybody's dropping it and saying it, I don't think, ooh, that white guy's a racist because he said it. That Asian kid, he can't say that. His friends have no problem with it. This isn't the biggest issue in the world or anything else. I just can't stand the fake outrage over it and this concept of people swearing that they'd never allow it. They don't let anybody say it. No white person can ever say it. I don't know where they grew up. And honestly, I don't believe them at all. I think basically they're lying through their teeth. Now, they might not say it. Their friends might not say it. But I guarantee they walked past groups of friends or hung out someplace where there'll be a white guy, an Asian guy, or a Hispanic guy, or whatever, that said it just like anybody else, and they never thought a thing of it. They never thought, well, I'm going to confront that guy. I won't allow a white person to say that around me. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Now, if he says it a certain way, if he says it as an insult, like you're nothing but a dumb N-word or something like that, hell yeah, in any of those places, the guy's going to wind up getting his ass kicked. But it's an absolute lie, and it's fraudulent, and I can't stand the dishonesty. Like, people can say, listen, I don't think anybody should say it. I really don't think white people should say it, but I've heard them say it a million times, and it's, as long as I don't mean it in a certain way, what am I going to do? I think I can deal with a lot of views, but just this absolute outright lie that it's never okay, and you can think it's never okay, by the way, but this I'll never allow it around me, and I won't let that happen. And if I ever heard a white person say it in front of me, I'm going to confront them it's all bullshit, because you never thought a thing about it. You never cared. It never. Most you ever did was probably shake your head and think, oh man, I wish you wouldn't do that, or something like that. You've never gone up to a group of black kids with the one white friend and been like, excuse me, how can you let him say that around you? After they're calling him the N-word and he's saying it back at them. Anyway. By the way, real quick, I don't say it because there's a lot of men, women, and children that had that be the last word that they ever heard before they left this earth. So I won't say it. Everybody else doesn't have to have the same perspective as me. But the dishonesty is just ridiculous. Peace.